Hello and welcome to this message on taking control of your finances. In this session, we're going to talk about staying on track. This is the big challenge. Before arriving at this point, you need to have made a list. That is, you need to know what are all of your expenses and what are the sources of your income. You need to have listed those. You also need to have made a plan. That is, to have made a budget where you balance out the income and the outgoings so that they match. And so you have made this plan and now you're ready to put the plan into practice. And this is the biggest challenge of all, because now you're going to have to make it happen. And this is a character issue. This is an issue of self-control. And self-control is a virtue. In the fruit of the Spirit that are mentioned by Paul in Galatians chapter 5, he says the fruit of the Spirit is love, which consists of a number of things, and finally self-control. Self-control is a part of love. Self-control is character. And when Peter makes a list of the virtues that we should grow in as Christians, he lists self-control. Self-control causes you to make choices now to bring about a good outcome. Jesus, for the joy set before him, endured the cross. Did he enjoy the cross? No. I'm not trying to trivialize Jesus' death or sufferings by comparing it with our finances, but it is an aspect of the same character. He is our ultimate example and inspiration of how to make choices, how to defer gratification so that we will have a better future. And we're just making that real within the area of our own personal finances. So this is a character journey and not just a financial journey. And this is the most difficult part of the journey. So well done you for coming this far. Now this is the biggest hurdle. If you can cross this hurdle, you will succeed on this race. So what I want to do is present a number of strategies that may be useful to you in staying on track. Because if you stay on track, your budget will be successful. Otherwise, it's just a budget in theory. So staying on track, I'm going to suggest 10 strategies that might be useful. The first strategy is vision. Keep your eye on the prize. If you like, keep a picture on your bathroom mirror of the big purchase you want when your finances are in control, that holiday destination that you want to go to. Or maybe it's a picture of you. Take a picture of yourself, a happy picture of yourself, the you that you want to be, the person who is in control of their finances and their lives. Keep that picture, whether on your bathroom mirror or in your mind. This is the place I want to get to. This is the person I want to be. This is the situation I want to be in. So keep that prize before you, because you will have some challenging day-to-day decisions and actions to take. And so as you're taking those decisions, if your eye is on the prize, you will know it's worth it. I'm going to press through. I'm going to keep on doing this. I'm going to become the person I want to be in the financial situation that I want to be in. So keep that clear to you. And that's a big motivator. You are doing all of these things in order to get to this preferred future, this future you, this future situation. Let that be in your mind as you're faced with daily decisions. So vision is the first strategy. The second strategy is knowledge. Know your spending limits. Know what you can spend. Know what you have already spent. Know what you have available to spend. Be clear, because in order to stay within the limits, you must know what the limits are. If you're running a race, you have to be able to see the lines on either side of your lane, so you know this is the lane that I'm to walk in. So be clear. Remind yourself if you need to check out by looking up your written records or something else, but be clear. Don't let the lack of knowledge cause you to perish along the journey because you just didn't know and you broke the budget, if you like, innocently or unknowingly. So that's the second strategy, is knowledge. The third strategy is positivity. Don't keep looking over the fence at what you can't have. Focus on what you can have and enjoy it. So if you've got €3 left in your day-to-day budget for the week, and you're standing in the queue in the coffee shop and you're looking at that banoffee pie that you can't have because it costs €6 and it's delicious, and why can't I have it, and life is so hard and it looks delicious and I'd love it. Don't think like that. You have €3, you can have the peanut butter cookie or the flapjack. You know what? Focus on them. They're both delicious. What will I choose? Yippee! I can have a peanut butter cookie or a flapjack. Think positively about the things that are available to you rather than looking longingly over the fence at what someone else is currently enjoying or at what's not available to you right now. You're only persecuting yourself by doing that. So be positive, be thankful, focus on the blessings that you do have and the choices that are within your sphere of possibility. So that's the third strategy, positivity. The fourth strategy is flexibility. You can flex, and you may need to flex, but you must flex within the limits. So you may have allowed yourself €150 for discretionary spending through the month. You can spend a lot of it in the first week if you want, but you will have to tighten things up afterwards. You have some flexibility, but use it with care. You can transfer money from one budget area to another. You might say in a particular month, I'm going to need less money this month for birthday presents because my friends don't have birthdays, but I'm going to need more this month for travel because I have this journey. So you can move and revise the budget, but stay within the overall budget. You can also, when you have emergencies, you can have recourse to your emergency fund. That's what it's there for. So if an emergency arises, you can go to your emergency savings without any misgivings. That's what you saved for. You set aside, with my recommendation, €1,000 as an emergency fund. So suddenly the situation arises, you need that funds, no worries. Use the fund for a legitimate emergency and then start saving them back again. That's the fourth strategy, which is flexibility. The fifth strategy is use rewards. Reward yourself for success. Now, of course, the best reward of all is the vision of the better future. But how about rewards along the way? On a Friday, you got your Friday cappuccino because you're within budget and you have the price of that Friday cappuccino. And depending on how you are constructed inside, that might be a very helpful thing for you to think, I'll just behave myself on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and this becomes my Friday cappuccino with a friend where I can splash out a little bit because I have kept myself within the budget. So, of course, the best reward is the sense of self-control and achievement, but you can leave rewards for yourself and you can enjoy those things. If you've been accustomed to feeling guilty every time you spend money because you're always overdrawn or you're always in credit card trouble, when you have a budget, you can spend and have no misgivings. You're spending within the budget for something that you've budgeted for, something that's pleasant, something that you like, and that can be something that you can celebrate and can be a positive motivator for you. Keep within the budget so that you can enjoy the benefits that are there in the budget for you. The sixth strategy, the fifth one there was rewards. The sixth one now is character. Exercise self-control. This is not just a financial journey. This is a character journey. So see it that way. And don't think it as a contest that you're losing. Don't think, here's me in the red corner and I want banoffee pie. And there's the budget in the blue corner saying, you can't have banoffee pie. And I have to engage in this battle and lose. Poor me, no banoffee pie. No, that's not how it is. Here's me in the red corner. There's temptation in the blue corner. Temptation that wants to overcome me. It's a battle I want to win, and I can win. It would be sad if you won this battle and then you regarded your success as failure. So you went away from the banoffee pie scenario thinking, oh, I lost, I didn't get the banoffee pie. No, you won. You won against temptation to blow your budget in a way that you didn't have resources for, in a way that would have put you into financial trouble. So it's you battling, yes, for sure, but you're battling with temptation. You are battling, another version of yourself, the version who wants everything and doesn't want any responsibility for it. But that is temptation. You are battling temptation and you are emerging victorious not just to get the prizes, but to become a stronger and better you. So exercise self-control. It's grit. See it as a game, as a challenge, as a contest, as something you can relish and win. Come on, Katie, let's do this thing. So it's you fighting to keep things in order in your life and in your financial life. So that's the sixth one, and it's a big one, character. The seventh one is like that. It's truthfulness. Be honest with yourself. Don't fudge it or practice self-deception or say, oh, I won't look in the budget because maybe I don't have enough money there and I want this banoffee pie. Don't try to fool yourself. I mean, if you succeed, who are you fooling? So be truthful with yourself. And don't say, oh, I know I shouldn't. Well, if you know you shouldn't, then you shouldn't. Don't say, oh, I know I shouldn't, but I'll do it. Don't create that kind of habitual thought pattern in your mind where you think, oh, it's the guilty pleasure. I know I shouldn't, but I will, and then I'll be sorry afterwards, but that's the way I am. No. This is you on a new journey of self-control and financial independence. And it's a good road. Okay, so that's number 7. It's truthfulness. Strategy number 8 is patience. Take your time before spending. And when a budgetary problem arises, don't rush into solving it, especially solving it by throwing money at it or making a purchasing decision that violates your budget. Give yourself time for a solution to arise in your mind. Either sleep on it or maybe you can defer that purchase or some other purchase until next month. Maybe there's a way to do it. By thinking about it, you might think, maybe I don't need to buy that thing if I approach the problem this other way. So give yourself the gift of time. Patience, as we saw in the second session here, patience is such a part of this whole practice of good budgetary behavior. So take your time, especially when you're faced with unexpected issues in the budget. Think about how you're going to resolve it and see it as a challenge to do that and plan over time how you're going to overcome each challenge. So that's strategy number 8, which is patience. Strategy number 9 is limits. Set limits for yourself. Now, eventually, of course, your banking institution will set limits for you. They'll say, we're not going to advance you any more credit, but let's not wait for that to happen. You set limits for yourself. Set daily or monthly spending limits or withdrawal limits inside your debit card app. Or if you're a person who uses cash, when you're leaving the house to go to the shopping zone, ask yourself, how much cash will I bring? So if you bring €40, then you can't spend €60. So just bring an amount that will be consistent with your budget. So if you like, you're making hard and fast rules for yourself, for you to keep. Now, of course, when you set limits inside an app, you can go and change those limits. But you are helping yourself by structuring your life in a way that doesn't allow you to violate the rules that you have decided to set. So setting limits, policing yourself, is a way to create self-control by, if you like, making it impossible for yourself to do the thing that you actually don't want to do. You don't want to keep on breaking your budget. So set limits and police yourself is strategy number 9. Strategy number 10 is accountability. Make yourself accountable to another person or to a group where you must give account of your spending, or where they can see your spending by either sharing your app with them or meeting them regularly and giving an account of how you get on. And maybe you and someone else could do this for each other, either within a group or just with one-on-one. Say, here's how I got on this week. I really struggled with this. And the fact that you have an accountability partner or an accountability group means that you know when you're tempted to spend money, not only are you going to have to deal with the consequences of the financial loss, but you know in that moment, I'm also going to have to explain this to my accountability partner. And I don't look forward to that. So perhaps I won't do it. So you can support your own self-control in these ways by making yourself accountable And in that way, we can be a help to one another. Now, we all have very different personalities. Some of us, for example, are very creative. And so the idea of having your life mapped out for you feels very constraining. And it's not that your life is being mapped out for you by your budget, but it does mean that your spending is being mapped out for you. So there are certain limits, and you can't just throw caution to the wind and spend money in ways that you haven't planned. So certainly for some of us there will be challenges because we are creative people who like to do things on the spur of the moment and who get sudden ideas, and that's fine, but you must find a way to do those things within the budget if you have that kind of personality. Some of us are more relational and will find the accountability approach quite helpful, and so it's just a question of finding out of all these strategies, that 10th one, accountability, or any of the other strategies, it's a question of finding out what will work for you, taking account of your own personality, your own financial situation, and the opportunities you have within the friendships that you have to arrange accountability, the particular pressures that come on you and on your finances. And it's a question of knowing that, planning around that, and above everything else, keeping to the plan you've made. So that's the big challenge that we're presenting in this session. I admit to you, this is the biggest step of all. If you can get over this mountaintop, I expect that your financial life is going to change and it's going to be successful. So recognize this as the big challenge. Don't see this as just another step along the way. This is where we have the make or break situation. If we actually do it, it will work. There is a better future waiting for you. There is a better financial setup waiting for you. And this is just the fight that we've got to win. The fight against temptation, the fight against laziness or ignorance or not bothering or just letting it slide. If something changes, if you either wisely or carelessly violate one of the limits in your budget, all is not lost. Later that day, sit down, look at your budget and say, okay, I exceeded my spending there. How can I keep this monthly budget intact? I'm going to have to move some money from my day-to-day into that category where I overspent. So revise the budget so the budget is fixed and is still going to end up in the right place at the end of the month. So you can do this. You've come this far. You want this or you wouldn't be here. So it's a challenge for all of us to just make it happen. Sometimes we say no, but then when we get the thing we've waited for, we say, oh, I like it. I waited for this smartwatch. It's a nice smartwatch. I enjoy having it now. And because I had to wait, I appreciate it more. And not only that, but when I got it, not only did I have the enjoyment of having it, but I didn't have the anxiety of thinking, oh, now I'm going to have to pay for it. No, it's paid for already. So we have this better future waiting for us, but we just need to fight the good fight of faith, or in particular of self-control in the area of our finances. So let's explore how we can do this, and how we can do this with a little help from our friends and with a little help from myself as my own friend to keep myself on track on this journey. So all the best to you as you make this journey. It's a good journey, and as we said already, it's not just a financial journey, it's a character journey. So it's a journey well worth making, and there will be reward in your soul and in your finances as you go forward.